Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiret Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 15th chapter, the Pandavas retire timely. Text number 6 onwards. So now Arjun is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj about how Krishna left and how he is so dejected, why he is feeling so dejected. Yasya kshana viyogena loko hi apriya darshana uktena rahito hi esha mritakaha prochyate yatha. I have just lost him, whose separation for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void, like bodies without life. Factually, for a living being, there is no one dearer than the Lord. The Lord expands himself as by innumerable parts and parcels as Swansha and Vibhinansha. So Swansha are Krishna's expansions, like Balramji and the Chaturvyu, Narayan, three, the Purusha avatars, Paramatma. Paramatma is a Swansha part of the Lord, whereas the Vibhinansha parts are the living beings. So we all living entities are the Vibhinansha. We are separated parts and particles, or separated part and parcel of Krishna. As the living being is the important factor in the material body, for without the living being, the material body has no value. Similarly, without Paramatma, the living being has no status quo. Similarly, Brahman or Paramatma has no locus standi without the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is thoroughly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So, living being, living entity, soul, jiva, he has no standing. Of course, the body cannot function without the jiva, and the jiva cannot function without the presence of Paramatma. Just like when Brahmaji did the creation, so he made all the 84 lakh species of life. And the jivas were also there. But the activity didn't start till Paramatma entered the hearts of every jiva. And not just every jiva, within every atom and within the space within the atoms. Till Paramatma entered, there was no function, no activity started. And now Prabhupada is saying, without the presence of Krishna or Supreme Lord, there is no position of Paramatma or Brahman, Brahmjyoti, because they both are dependent on Krishna. Where Paramatma is expansion of, so many expansions of Krishna, and Brahmjyoti is a effulgence of the body of Krishna. They're all interlinked with one another or interdependent factors. Thus, in the ultimate issue, the Lord is a summum bonum and therefore the vital principle of everything. So that Krishna is a vital principle. Krishna is the topmost. And that's why Arjuna is saying that without Krishna, it's like a body without life. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said in his Shikshashtakam, Shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahene. Because of the love for Krishna was there, so much love is there, that without him, without his presence, the whole world appears to me like a shunya, like a void, like zero. There is nothing in the world without Krishna. And actually there is nothing. If we really think of, and like Prabhupada has explained at one place, why do people like their near and dear ones? Okay, so he kept on analyzing the near and dear ones are very dear to us because there is a bodily relationship. Okay, but bodily relationship is there But the same body is there when the person dies, and then they say, okay, you take this body, you burn it, or you bury it, whatever you want to do. I can't be with this body anymore. But the whole throughout the life, we were in thinking, we were in the relationship with the body. So then Prabhupada explains that the real relationship is actually with the soul, not with the body. Because body, once the soul leaves the body is of no value. There is no use. So why the real relationship is with the soul? Because is both the souls are part and parcels of Krishna. So the actual relationship is with Krishna. And now this soul has come into our lives for this lifetime. So our relationship is with him for certain number of years. But the actual relationship of the soul is with Krishna, and that's why all the relationships have some sense. Otherwise, there won't be any sense. So this is what in this purport also Prabhupada right. He is the summum bonum. Krishna is the summum bonum and the vital principle of everything. Of course, whether we believe in the presence of Krishna, whether we believe in God or not, that's a different story. And who is this we? We is just a poor or impure consciousness of the soul. Soul is always part of Krishna, whether in the consciousness we believe or not. Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. Jivera Swarupa. Every jiva's constitutional position is to serve Krishna. Whether the jiva believes it or not believe it, whether the jiva thinks Krishna exists or doesn't exist, hardly matters. It's just for this lifetime or few lifetimes, he can be under this kind of impression. That's all. So sooner or later, he will come to the right senses. So every jiva has his relationship with Krishna. Krishna or expansion of Krishna, depending upon that's between jiva and the ultimate. But the relationship is there, and every relationship in the material world only makes sense because we have relationship with Krishna. Text 7. Yat sanshriyad drupad geham upagatanam ragyam swayam paramukhe smardur madanam tejo hritam khalu maya bhihatascha matsya sanji kriten dhanushadhigata cha Krishna. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupad for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadi. Purport. Draupadi was the most beautiful daughter of King Drupad, and when she was a young girl, almost all the princes desired her hand. But Drupad Maharaj decided to hand over the daughter to Arjun only and therefore contrived a peculiar way. There was a fish hanging on the inner roof of the house under the protection of a wheel. Condition was that out of the princely order one must be able to pierce the fish's eye through the wheel of protection, and no one would be allowed to look up at the target. On the ground, there was a water pot in which the target and the wheel were reflected, and one had to fix his aim towards a target by looking at the trembling water in the pot. So it was so difficult. But Arjun, he was very capable of doing that. That's why he won the hands of Draupadi. Maharaj Drupad well knew that only Arjun, or alternately Karna, could successfully carry out the plan. But still he wanted to hand over his daughter to Arjun. And in the assembly of the princely order, when Drishtadyumna, the brother of Draupadi, introduced all the princes to his grown-up sister, Karna was also present in the game. But Draupadi tactfully avoided Karna as a rival of Arjun, and she expressed her desires through her brother Drishtadyumna that she was unable to accept anyone who was less than a Kshatriya. The Vaishyas and Shudras are less important than the Kshatriyas. Karna was known as a son of a carpenter, a Shudra. So Draupadi avoided Karna by this plea. When Arjun, in the dress of a poor Brahmin, pierced the difficult target, everyone was astonished, and all of them, especially Karna, offered a stiff fight to Arjun. But as usual, by the grace of Lord Krishna, he was able to emerge very successful in the princely fight and thus gain the valuable hand of Krishna or Draupadi. So Draupadi's another name is Krishna with a long A. Arjun was lamentingly remembering the incident in the absence of the Lord, by whose strength only he was so powerful. So Arjun is acknowledging that it's only by mercy of Krishna I had the strength. Now I have the same bow and arrow, but I don't have any strength left. And then he is remembering more incidents. Yat sanni dhavam ho khandavam agnere adam indram cha samar ganam tamsa vijitya labdha sabha mai krita adbhut shilpa maya digbyo aharan riptayo balimadvarete. Because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven, Indradev, along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Khanda forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Khanda forest. And thus we could build our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship where all the princes assembled during the performance of Rajsui Yagya and paid due tributes. So he's remembering the incidents of how he won over Indradev, his own father actually, and how the Khandav won, which well, where they established Khandaprasth, their capital. How Khandav one was eaten up by fire god. So Khandaprasth, which is Khandaprasth, is now it is the present day Delhi. Hastinapur is towards Meerut, and and the present day Delhi is Khandaprasth or was Khandaprasth. The demon Maya Dano was an inhabitant of the forest Khandav, and when the Khandav forest was set on fire, he asked protection from Arjun. Arjun saved his life. And as a result of this, the demon felt obliged. He reciprocated by building a wonderful assembly house for the Pandavas, which attracted the extraordinary attention of all state princes. They felt the supernatural power of the Pandavas, and thus, without grudge, all of them submitted and paid tributes to the emperor. The demons possess wonderful and supernatural powers to create material wonders, but they're always disturbing elements of the society. The modern demons are the harmful material scientists who create some material wonders for disturbance in the society. Look at what Prabhupada is writing. That the demons, they have wonderful powers, but they always create disturbance in the society. And the major disturbance is they don't believe in God. They don't believe in surrendering to Krishna. So that's a major disturbance. And Prabhupada is saying the modern day scientists, they are wonderful. They have lots of powers, lots of brain they have, and they create so many things. But Prabhupada says they create some material wonders for disturbance in the society. Actually, well, it depends how we use those material things, material inventions. But ultimately, they bring about more disturbance in the society than they were supposed to. Just like when computers were introduced. So previously, we all used to do handwork, as a civil engineer. Although I never made the drawings, but in the college we learned how to do drafting by hand. Everything was done by hand earlier. And when the computers came, we were told that, oh, now computers are here. your work will be done in 2 hours. You will be more productive because we have computers. But then what happened? And then the idea was we will have more free time for yourself, for your family, for your hobbies. Now with the introduction of computers, there's hardly any free time. Earlier the cell phones came into picture, and then everybody was telling, oh, now the life will be so easy, you don't even have to stand in the line for a payphone to make a phone call. You can just call from your cell phone anytime, anywhere. Life will be so easy. And how many of us believe that because of cell phones our life has become more difficult? No, anybody and everybody can track us down anywhere, anytime. Middle of the night also, people call each other. And it's a big nuisance. And of course, because of the cell phones, now the radiation problem is there, and so many other problems are coming. So scientists can do wonderful things, but it depends how we utilize those inventions. For example, Prabhupada is giving example, the creation of nuclear weapons has caused some panic in the human society. Not some panic, a whole lot of panic. Maya was also a materialist like that, and he knew the art of creating such wonderful things. And yet Lord Krishna wanted to kill him. When he was chased both by the fire and by Lord Shri Krishna, and the wheel of Lord Krishna, he took shelter of such a devotee as Arjuna, who saved him from the wrath of fire of Lord Shri Krishna. So in the Khanda 1, there was fire everywhere. Arjun had set fire. And my demon, he was living in Khanda 1, Khanda forest. So he was running here and there to save his life, but he wasn't finding a place. And then Prabhupada writing the Krishna's chariot was also following him. A wheel means Sudarshan Chakra must be following him. But then actually Krishna wanted him to take shelter of Arjun. So my Dana ran and took shelter of Arjun. And because he took shelter of Arjun, Sudarshan Chakra could not do anything. He retracted. And then Indradev or the fire god also couldn't do anything because it was Arjun who was standing there giving protection to Maidana. So Maidana, in return of saving his life, he gave Arjun lots of things. Something I think he gave him this umbrella for his chariot also, and and he made this palace for Yudhishthira Maharaj. And that was a palace where Duryodhan got insulted by Draupadi. And then he took a vow to insult Draupadi. So the palace that Maidana had made, if you see a room with solid floor, that would be actually the floor of water. And if you see a room that looked like it has a floor of water, that would be solid floor. So he could not, Duryodhan just got bewildered and he fell down in the puddle of water. And when Draupadi started laughing, and that's where he got insulted. Devotees are therefore more merciful than the Lord, and in devotional service, the mercy of a devotee is more valuable than the mercy of the Lord. Both the fire and the Lord ceased from chasing the demon as soon as both of them saw the demon was given shelter by such a devotee as Arjun. This demon, feeling obliged to Arjun, wanted to do him some service to show his gratefulness, but Arjun declined to accept anything from him in exchange. Lord Krishna, however, being pleased with Maya for his taking shelter of a devotee, asked him to render service unto King Yudhishthira by building a wonderful assembly house. The process is that by the grace of the devotee, the mercy of the Lord is obtained, and by the mercy of the Lord, a chance to serve the Lord's devotee is obtained. Okay, the club of Bhimsena was also a gift of Mayadana. So Mayadana gave him this club, the Gada, that he fought, he took and fought with it for so many wars. And Prabhupada is writing that about the devotee, the Lord also gets pleased if he takes shelter of a devotee. Why? Because devotees are very dear to Krishna. They are just so close to his heart. Text 9. Yat tejasa niripshro angri mahanam akhartam aryo anujastav gata gajayut sattva virya tena hrita pramath nath makhaya bhupa yanmochitas tadanyan balim advarete. Your respectable younger brother who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace, by Krishna's grace, Jarasandh, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandh's Mahabhairav Yagya, but they were thus released. Later they paid tribute to your majesty. So Arjun is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj that your respectable younger brother, who is Bhimsen himself, he had the strength of 10,000 elephants. We can't even imagine how strong Bhima was. I mean, even if you look at one elephant these days, he's so powerful. He can just wrap his trunk around a tree, and he can yank the whole tree out of the ground. That's how powerful elephants are. And this is the elephant of Kali Yuga. It's not even elephant of Dwapara Yuga. And Bhimsen had the strength of 10,000 elephants of Dwapara Yuga, not Kali Yuga elephants. Dwapara Yuga elephants were bigger and stronger, much stronger than today's elephants. So that was the strength of Bhimsen. And then Arjun is remembering how Jarasandh was killed by Bhimsen. Jarasandh had captured so many kings. Why? Because he wanted to give the sacrifice in Mahabhairav Yagya. So, but Krishna just broke his yagya and he killed. Of course, Jarasandh was killed by Bhimsen, and but the whole plot was done by Krishna. Jarasandh was a very powerful king of Magad, and the history of his birth and activities is also very interesting. His father, King Bridrat, was also very prosperous and powerful king of Magad, but he had no son, although he married two daughters of the king of Kashi. Being disappointed in not getting a son from either of the two queens, the king, along with his wives, left home to live in the forest for austerities. But in the forest, he was blessed by one great rishi to have a son, and he gave him a mango to be eaten by the queens. I wonder why they give only mango or keys. I don't know what's the secret there. The queens did so, and very soon they were pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children. And of course, mango, if they're given mango by these sages, I wonder what they do with the seed of mango. I mean, where would that go? They cut that up also in half and half. I don't know. It's a little confusing for me. The queens did so and were very soon pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children. But when the ripe time approached, the queens delivered one child in two parts, one from each of the queen's wombs. So that was the secret there. So the child was born half and half, half from one queen and half from other, because there was only one mango given. The two parts were thrown in the forest because nobody liked there were two halves. What is it? Of a baby. where a great she demon used to live, and she was glad to have some delicate flesh and blood life. The she demon was known as Jara, and being compassionate on the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with a nice child. So she picked up the two halves of the child of the baby, and she just put them together to eat the flesh. But when she put them together, two halves together, it became a boy, and he became alive. And then Jara. So that's why the name was given Jara Sandha. So Jara, the boy who was attached by this demon Jara. Out of curiosity, she joined the two parts, and the child became complete and regained life. The she demon was known as Jara, and being compassionate on the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with the nice child. The king was very pleased with the she demon and wanted to reward her according to her desire. Then she demon expressed a desire that the child be named after her, and thus the child was named Jarasandha, one who was joined by Jara, the she demon. In fact, the Jarasandha was born as one of the parts and parcels of the demon Viprachitti. The saint by whose benediction the queens bore the child was called Chandrakoshik, who foretold of the child before his father Brihadrath. And this Jarasandha was a big demon, big demon. And later on, when of course, all these demons, they try to capture others' kingdoms. And of course, Yudhishthira Maharaj also sent the uh, hordes for that purpose. But this Jarasandh, of course, he also was very strong, very powerful. Again, the strength of 10,000 elephants. So he laid siege on Mathura when Kansa was ruling over Mathura. So Jarasandh asked Kansa to come and fight with him. And Kansa was also very strong, very powerful demon he was. And Kansa had defeated many asuras. And the deal was, when he would fight with any asura, that either you accept defeat and accept my superiority, or you fight with me and then you accept my superiority. So of course, no demon uh, would just let go of fighting. So Kansa had defeated many asuras like that, and they all became friends of Kansa afterwards. But when Jarasandh came on the scene, Jarasandh was very strong. So what Kansa did was, he somehow got hold of Jarasandh's elephant. And that elephant Kuvalya, which Kansa used to kill Krishna and Balram, was actually the elephant given by Jarasandha. So Kansa just picked up that elephant, and with one hand, he grabbed from his trunk and he twirled him around and threw him far away. And Jarasandha, when he saw that Kansa was so powerful, he said, "There's no point in us fighting, let's become friends." And later on, Kansa married one or two daughters of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha became his father-in-law also. So that's why the saying is there, no? The birds of same feather flock together. So all the demons, they're uh, getting into family relationship with each other, because they are the birds of same feather. And actually, it was also Krishna's master plan to bring them all together, so Krishna could kill them all together. So, because Krishna comes to kill the demons and protect the sadhus, protect the devotees. Okay, this Jarasandha, again, for the writing. Since he possessed demonic qualities from birth, naturally he became a great devotee of Lord Shiva, who is the lord of all ghostly and demoniac men. Ravan was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and so also King Jarasandha. He used to sacrifice all arrested kings before Lord Mahabhairava, Shiva, and by his military power, he defeated many small kings and arrested them to butcher before Mahabhairava. There are many devotees of Lord Mahabhairava or Kala Bhairava in the province of Bihar, formerly called Magad. So Jarasandha was from Bihar. Jarasandha was a relative of Kansa, the maternal uncle of Krishna. And therefore, after Kansa's death, King Jarasandha became a great enemy of Krishna. And there were many fights between Jarasandha and Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, but he also wanted that those who served as military men for Jarasandha might not be killed. Therefore, a plan was adopted to kill him. Krishna, Bhima, and Arjun together went to Jarasandha in the dress of poor Brahmins and begged charity from King Jarasandha. Jarasandha never refused charity to any Brahman, and he performed many sacrifices also. Yet he was not on a par with the devotion service. So Jarasandha did perform many yagyas, but the idea was that he should become more strong by doing this yagyas. Lord Krishna, Bhima, and Arjun asked Jarasandha for the facility of fighting him, and it was settled that Jarasandha would fight with Bhima only. So he was man of honor, Jarasandha. So when these three, Krishna, Arjun, and Bhim, they went to Jarasandha, and Krishna had told Bhima and Arjun that we're gonna ask for fight. So they did ask. Jarasandha, of course, like Prabhupada said, no, he never refused to give charity to Brahmins. But when he saw these three, and he said, "Okay, I will give you whatever you want, but you tell me your identity, because three don't look like Brahmins." So then their identity was revealed, and Krishna. This was when Krishna was in Dwarka. So in Mathura, when Krishna was there, Jarasandha attacked after Krishna killed Kansa. Jarasandha attacked Krishna or the city of Mathura, I think 17 times. And every time he was defeated by Krishna, and his whole army was killed by Krishna, and he was sent back. So the question arises, why Krishna would send him back? Why didn't he kill him right away? Well, the thing was, Jarasandha would go back, collect more army from his state or from other states, and then he would attack again. So Krishna's job, he says, I have come here to kill the demons, and this demon is bringing all the other little bitty demons every time here. I don't have to go after them anywhere. So let them all come here and I'll keep on killing them. But 18th time, when Jarasandha attacked Krishna 18th time. So what had happened after 17th time, when he went back, he gathered all the Brahmins of his country. And he told them, either you pray for my victory and you give me the blessings of a victory over Krishna. Otherwise, when I come back, I'm going to kill you all. So Krishna, out of his love for Brahmins, he wanted to protect all these Brahmins. That's why 18th time when Jarasandha attacked, Krishna did not do anything, although he ran away. Krishna himself ran away from the battlefield. And running, it's a long story. So they came to Dwarka. And that's why Krishna took another name of Ranachod Rai. Ranachod, one who ran away from the battlefield. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjun wanted to leave the battlefield. But Krishna said, no, don't leave it, because all these like Duryodhan and Karn and Dushasan, they will call you with bad names. They will abuse you. So this will be dishonor for you. So don't run away. But Krishna himself ran away from the battlefield. But obviously, when Krishna runs away, it's still very merciful and it's very sweet. And we have a deity of Ranchod Rai near Gujarat, in Gujarat, near Ahmedabad. I think in Dakor. In Dakor, there is a temple. So Bhima and Jarasandha fought every day for several days, and they were the guests at the house of Jarasandha. And Bhima became disappointed, but Krishna gave him hints about Jarasandha being joined together as an infant, and then Bhima dissected him and killed him. And this is how all the kings were protected by Krishna. So I'll stop here. I went a lot over time today. See anybody has any questions or comments? Okay, so we'll stop here. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.